Nona Peltier is waiting in the studio to talk business. Now, Nona, I was very interested in this story given the announcements from Air New Zealand, a few days back. American Airlines, so it's going to be flying direct to Christchurch from Los Angeles, and apparently they made this decision yonks ago.
Yeah, well, 3 years ago, they started flying from LA to Auckland. That was in 2016, and almost immediately they determined that this was a very successful route. It's one of the best in their network, and this is the world's biggest airline, so that says something. And I asked, well, in what way is it the best? It's the best in terms of passenger demand and profitability. So it was a no-brainer for them to look beyond that and decided that Christchurch would be a good location. They had been working with the airport there, the Christchurch Airport, and also tourism to see how they could partner. And they were waiting until they did a deal with Qantas. It's a joint venture deal that they've got with Qantas, and so they were waiting for that to take place, which happened a few months back. And here's the launch. And they're going to also be flying from Dallas to Auckland as well. And that's not going to be an everyday kind of service. Well, it will be eventually, but it's a seasonal service, and then it will run daily from December to March. So it's an October to March deal, and it starts October 2020.
That is really interesting. It's game on because obviously Air New Zealand flies to Houston. So,
very much very close by.
Neck of the woods.
But it's very clever, to not choose routes that others are flying on. The Christchurch route's really quite unusual in a sense because they don't have any flights flying from the United States or the eastern part of the world to Christchurch. They have some from Asia and so on, Europe, but nothing that connects that way. So really big deal for Christchurch. Certainly Air New Zealand's share price took a bit of a knock today, down 1% on that news.
Interesting. Okay, so the government is, a different story, going to triple the size of the Financial Markets Authority's Fighting Fund to $6 million a year.
Yeah, so $6 million from $2 million. It's not now $2 million since 2011 when they first got established.
Bit scanty.
It is pretty scanty, and it showed on the FMA's record of litigation because, you can only take so many big cases, and some of the big offenders that they've probably had to tackle with, and we don't know all of who they were, they probably had to do a lot of deals or just let things slip with an apology because what could they do? It's a big, expensive situation to take on these big companies, take them to court for breaches of market regulation. So now with $6 million, now that's only if they spend it. They can spend up to $6 million a year, and if they don't spend it, they'll have to give it back. Just saying.
Really, use it or lose it.
It's the way it goes.
Hey, so you mentioned Air New Zealand there. What else was happening on the markets today?
Well, our market was, it rose only a handful of points today, up 5 points to 10,794. That's pretty cool because overall we were closed yesterday, so the markets played a bit of a catch-up in the sense S&P 500 out of the U.S., record highs. The Nikkei today, record highs. And that's because the market's still hoping for a trade deal with China and the United States. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we are trading at 63.7 U.S. cents, 93 cents Australian, and 49.5 pence, which is pretty much where we were last week.
Thanks, Nona. Nona Peltier with Business there.